All right, what is going on, hustlers? Welcome back to Hustlepedia. We are going to take a look at the ongoing AMA session right now with ADAX. Obviously, if you are watching this, it is probably concluded. I am going to go through the questions that have been asked so far, and they are still answering questions up here as you see Dovydas is typing. It's been a little bit of a different Ask Me Anything, considering it's been in a Telegram chat, but nonetheless, they've given some good information. We're going to go through it. We're going to talk about the audit process and the auditor that they have gotten on their project for the security audit, as well as take a look at some partnerships that they're forming that they hadn't announced yet, as well as just take a look at all their answers and see what is shaping out for the future of ADAX. I really like some of the stuff that they're saying about, like, they see the noise about the price, like in the Telegram chats every day. They see everyone complaining, and they're just trying to rest each other's mind, like rest the community's mind that, like, this is a project-based project. As the project grows, hodlers will be rewarded, but the Moon Boy mentality has been quite a bit crazy in that ADAX Telegram chat. We're going to go through the questions and we'll cover exactly the highlights. If you are new to the channel, guys, please be sure to drop down and hit that subscribe button. We come out with frequent ADAX, Cardano, and altcoin updates every single day on the channel, and be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy the video. So obviously, first of all, we're here to welcome the ADAX team. Please tell us a little more about yourself was the first question. And the team consists of crypto and traditional finance experts. We know this from Roger Ver and Mate Toke, the main advisors and investors. And as he says, our advisors are true crypto OGs who have been around for years. What are the major milestones you have achieved in recent days? Recent days were crazy. I was in Munich for the Cardano Summit together with David, who is our advisor, and we attended and helped hosting the Cardano Summit. There have been various conversations with people coming from VC background, DEXs, and other blockchain stuff. I think the most important takeaway that talks about coming regulations in the DeFi space and obviously potential KYC requirements from the government level. We are wrapping our heads around that. Obviously, a lot of DEXs will probably have to start requiring some sort of KYC going forward with regulations going on. So that is something to look out for. And that is going to be across the board. It's not going to be like, ADAX is choosing to make you KYC and others won't. So if ADAX goes through a KYC process when their DEX releases and you have to KYC to use their DEX, that will be industry-wide across all the Cardano DEXs for the most part. Have you met all your goals in the roadmap till now? The goals so far have been met, in some cases exceeded. One thing we hadn't anticipated was to be such a major blocker. Central exchanges not supporting Cardano native tokens or trying to charge crazy amounts of money for the listing. With all the buzz going around Cardano, we definitely thought that Cardano native token support will come much earlier, but there is good progress and we are pushing through that. Understood, and that's why they're on X markets. A lot of people were like, why the heck are they on X markets, right? Well, they're on X markets because X markets is one of the only platforms right now that supports Cardano native tokens as far as exchanges. So that is just something you have to look into and be aware of, which is why they are on X markets at the moment. Can you please share us the motivation and benefits for investors to hodl ADAX? And what plans do you have to create demand and scarcity for the token? As stated in one of our early interviews, at the moment, ADAX as a token is highly speculative. And that's very true. They don't have product yet. This is a early project. If you are in on ADAX and you invest your money today, you are still early in this project in the long term. Now, if you would have gotten in at the lower levels of like the 50 cents, between 50 and $1, you're looking good, and your investment's been very fruitful if you've been able to catch the swings over time. I'm not an investment advisor, but we have been keeping very much track with ADAX and its price fluctuations, and we have been having a good time with ADAX. Just in terms of it has been a successful investment from where we got in and from where it has taken up, where you take profits on the way. So what is the long-term demand for hodlers? As stated in one of the early interviews, it's highly speculative, as we just mentioned. Our goal is to deliver the DEX of choice, and that is where we are going to. But for the hodlers, our secondary project will be an IDO launchpad. Weird, we talked about an IDO system last night, and I'll make a video coming forward about how to get involved in IDOs specifically. I know it's kind of a difficult process to wrap your head around if you're new to IDO projects and like initial DEX offerings, trying to get in early, how to stake your coins to be involved and get an allocation. I'll make a video totally about that. But that is for a future video. They will have an IDO launchpad where your ADAX token holders will have premium access to the projects, just like the projects like ETHPad, ADAPad, BSCPad, where you have to stake that coin on their platform to be able to have access to those initial offers. Well, here you go. ADAX is having a future vision of this as well. So he says, yeah, so hodl. Thanks for the details. Let's move to the Twitter round. And we're going to go answers. We'll click the tweet, and then we'll come back to the answer. So right now, this first question, is ADAX Pro planning to bridge with Binance Smart Chain? What is your main goals to attract more investors? Is ADAX Pro having an NFT? At the moment, we have plans for an ERC20 bridge. We've talked about that. That is being developed by IOHK themselves. Polygon will come from our partners at meld.com. That is huge. They are partnering with Meld, which we just talked about on the channel as well. Adding Meld to their already diverse list of partnerships. This right here is just a partnership question. Charlie 3, Giro Wallet, NetVRK, Black Dragon, ViFi, and Meld.com upcoming, and some others that will be announced soon. Well, and obviously we have the main man, BitBoy. BitBoy will probably do like a shilling type of video on ADAX, you know, talking about the pros, and probably have his 1 million subscribers go and check it out. So that could be good, but it could be a pump situation and dump situation there with the shilling that BitBoy could put on. Or it could do nothing to the price, and that could be completely overblown. So, you know, take it for how you want. But they do have partnerships with all these platforms. Obviously Charlie 3, an Oracle, Giro Wallet, a wallet, ViFi, Meld.com, a finance protocol, a DeFi finance protocol. Very good partnerships and very strong partnerships. And here we go. He kind of had to copy. Someone asked about the team. He kind of copied the team question from up above, so I'm not going to cover that one. There are many issues around poor user experiences and limited liquidity, so order book-based DEX have low transaction volumes and cannot compete with centralized exchanges. The lead dev architect comes in. I completely agree with your point that central exchanges offer a better user experience and usability. It will probably take years for DEXs to match this. On the other hand, some convenience can be easily sacrificed because of decentralization. Matching is done off-chain and presents the point of failure in the whole infrastructure. Implementation of the EUTXO model offered by Cardano favors the order book approach, which is what they are going with. And while other blockchains like Ethereum, it is too expensive to build. And that is what we are doing in regards of innovation, bringing fully decentralized order book DEX with all of the logic happening on chain. So that is good. Finalizing the development side and obviously the smart contract audit. So this is, at the moment, what are y'all focusing on right now? Development side and obviously the smart contract audit. We are lucky to have partners at BTBlock, who have been running audits for Solana's blockchain for such a long time and will be grilling those contracts from all directions. Once all that is done, we launch the DEX. So that is big. BTBlock will be auditing their protocol. You can look up BTBlock, a very credible blockchain security company and project that will do a thorough audit on ADAX. That is a legit audit company, and that is very good to hear. We have been waiting on an actual announcement about this. People have said they heard through the grapevine, probably, you know, just before the announcement, but this is good to hear in an AMA with as many people's eyes on it. They get to ease their mind to know that the audit is set and it is getting in the motions. In parallel, on the business side of things, we are working hard to get more projects on board at institutional money because a DEX with no trading volume is not going to survive, which is 100% true. So that's something we have to take very seriously. Munich trip, this was the priority. So I'm happy we are on track as of now. Someone asked if it's a Cardano-based project and it plans to go to other blockchains in the future. Yes, we are a Cardano-based first and focused DEX, but as mentioned above, the ERC20 bridge is on the way. Polygon from Meld, and as time goes on, more cross-chain features will be added. Post Munich, I can guarantee that a bridge to Concordium blockchain will happen in 2022 as well, so it will become a multi-chain platform down the line, it seems. But most importantly, it really depends on the demand from the community, and that's where our priorities will go, which is great to hear. What do they think is going to put them over others? Definitely first mover advantage, innovative order book model, DAO, where holders will run governance and be incentivized, basically part owners of the DEX, Stockgeist integration, audit, and future features like IDO. So that is good to hear. Kind of a broad answer. I mean, but what is he supposed to say? I mean, all these platforms are more or less going to do the same. It's just about being efficient, clean, easy to use, and having a community behind it and the correct team behind it to make it successful. So, as far as what he could answer there, he said everything he could. Kind of a broad answer, but it's about all you can do there too. In terms of funds and reserves, someone said, so how are you going to fund the project? Is funding taken care of? We are sorted. Our fundraising stage was a success with over 85% of early investors from retail sector, and we have operations in places for a few years to out of that reserve. So our community is one of a kind. We love the ADAX crew and all the support we've seen so far. In terms of priorities, audit, DEX getting finalized and live, working on the adoption and user acquisition, and obviously getting the trading volume in the platform. Someone asked about launch date. I'm not completely sure about the launch date as I'm not responsible for it, but it will be launched with or soon after the DEX launch. Now that was this is actually referring to the Stockgeist integration, the AI Stockgeist integration that will be on the DEX. It will be on soon or after the DEX launch. I can assure you it's not the hardest of current hurdles we are facing, so don't worry, it will be there. And someone asked about like the way the protocol is going to run on the transaction fees. Transaction fees are not a problem as our smart contract is not expensive to execute. Besides that, fee depends on Cardano. And we trust in Cardano. That's why we chose this blockchain in the first place. Regarding liquidity, it was our main goal to incentivize and reward order book makers as they are the primary driving force behind liquidity. So good to hear. Then they started rattling off the Telegram questions, and it's to a point where you kind of have to go right here and they'll start. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Twitter questions. What major marketing activities will you make to publicize your project and bring it to more communities? So Dovydas says, obviously BitBoy, we have a partnership with him and things will roll quick. In addition, traditional activities like project updates, dev progress, and such will be announced through our channels as well as external publications and influencers. And the amount of questions is insane. So many questions were asked, I will say. Someone asked if they're hiring. He said we are. First mover advantage, security audit, and also approach as already mentioned in Twitter section. Apart from that, experienced dev team which is capable of building anything. So what is your advantage was the question. There are so many investors that focus on the price of the token short term instead of the real tech of the project. Yeah, we know all about that. Join the Telegram group and you'll see it. So can you tell us the motivation behind investors for your project long term? And I do like what Dovydas was just kind of straight up. And he said, look, I'll say it again. We are not a poop coin, moon coin, or whatever. We are a project that has fundamentals, team, and vision. If we don't hit 10 million X, does not matter to us. That is not the purpose of our token. Our community is what makes this project tick. Price is a distraction to some. To us, it's an indicator that we have insane support. Check out the staking pools. They are full. Quite a few new exchange questions here. So here's the answer to all. We are in talks with KuCoin. They plan to start supporting Cardano native tokens next month, and if the negotiations go well and no blockers on their end, we want to be there ASAP. So very bullish with a KuCoin listing potentially around the corner. I thought that stuck out, and that was great news to see. Security and anonymity is always prioritized. Audit, and more audit. The audit, they believe, will take care of all the security issues. And regarding anonymity, it's a very broad topic. As we already see resistance and regulations everywhere, we are focusing on security at the moment. Our Telegram group is the best way to follow upcoming news. If you're not in the ADAX Pro Telegram group, definitely join. It is a good place to get updated every day and just kind of hear what the community's talking about. 40 plus team members. Obviously, they're doing everything they can to work with regulation. That's what this one's about. Obviously, with KYC and wallet holder visibility will be a major topic in the coming months. It's not a great setup, but the government is stepping in, and we are following this very closely. Good to hear. Many projects make deceptive promises by cloning existing ones and are too similar to existing ones. Do you have features that are unique to you that have developed and made you special? That was a good question, I thought, just because there are so many copycat type projects out there, obviously. And so we look at, yes, it's capitalism and the Wild West and crypto. In the context of Cardano, there are 0 automated market makers and DEXs at the moment, and we're rolling out our solution from the first line of code. I agree. And they're being unique. They're not taking the cartoon look of like Sunday Swap, banking on pancake swaps marketability. It's not that type of, they're not trying to clone that. ADAX is kind of trying to pave their own way. They want to be like the state-of-the-art program, and I do like that. There is no coin burn going on, nothing like that. He said it's only 100 million tokens, fixed supply, very comfortable. We've been transparent from day one, not pushing a moon boy attitude. Our team is visible, our product is solid and unique. Even some Ethereum-based DEXs reached out whether or not they can use some of our features and ideas that were displayed in the demo. Our goal was not to be another Uniswap. Our goal was to set the new trend for all DEXs out there. So great answers. While you build your projects, do you take into account community? Absolutely. I mean, he literally just mentioned that. But all these came in simultaneously, so answering the same questions is kind of going to be a given. Regarding the current market situation, we entered the market in June, which was even worse than it is now, and look at the progress so far. Very true. The progress of the market has been good for ADAX. From investment perspective, VC funds represent the non-crypto audience. From retail perspective, educational content that comes from all the projects within the crypto industry. That's where we will tap in as well, as in non-crypto user is very important for mainstream adoption. How are you planning to attract non-crypto users to your project? So good question there. We will have another, this is good to see. We've seen the UI demo. With the competition releasing working demos left and right, it would be good to see another one from ADAX. When can we expect to get a functioning demo? In the coming weeks, most likely done via Cardano with Paul. Good announcement there. Paul's channel's awesome. If you don't sub to Cardano with Paul, go subscribe. He has great content on Cardano as well. Since we already spoke about him in my last interview, as soon as we are ready, it's happening. So that is great to hear. Can it be managed without partnerships? All partnerships, especially with Cardano ecosystem, are vital, and the dApps are being developed from scratch. That's why we are in contact with Giro Wallet, Charlie 3, etc. Everyone needs help, and we are expanding our network as we go. I did like this question. Have the team started the audit? How long does it roughly take? Dovydas mentioned about 85% of the code is finished. What percentage of the code at this time and do you expect to be finished? Will ADAX still be launching on said date? Not yet. On the start of the audit, we are still fine-tuning our smart contracts. Concurrency problem is solved, but audit will be done by BTBlock 2. We have 100% finished the code, which is good to see, which is working. As said before, we keep on improving it. Some other parts are not fully complete, like the UI wallet integration. That will take time. And then 3, this is a possible but optimistic target. As already mentioned, some of our elements are out of our control. Q4 is a realistic target for the release of the DEX, is what they're saying. So good to hear an update on the release, the audit, the code, all that stuff. That say they're 100% finished. The audit is in place but not started, and then they obviously have great partnerships, like a new partnership with Meld, and then obviously looking at a potential KuCoin listing. A lot going on, and great stuff that they just announced. And look at the timing. You can't see the time down here, but it just ended 2 minutes ago. I just went through all the questions, and they just ended. Personally, I have learned a lot from the session. Well wishes for you and your project. Cheers. So good to see. So basically, the biggest things we heard this morning were the audit, BTBlock auditing. That is huge. KuCoin listing probably around the corner. They said that will be the first platform to really unroll, like a centralized exchange to have those Cardano native tokens, where they believe they will have that KuCoin listing as soon as it's available. So that's good to hear as well. We heard updates that they are 100% completed on the code. That was obviously great to hear. And we kind of hear all the things they want to stand out above other DEXs, the partnerships that they are making, the institutional investments they have been receiving, the networking is paying off, according to Dovydas and the team. And I thought they did a pretty good job of answering these questions for what they were given. All these questions are on the spot. You're answering them via text as well, so you can't verbalize exactly what you're trying to say. I thought, as an ADAX investor, an ADAX holder, I was very happy with all the updates today. I wish it was in video format, like I said, but it is what it is, and they had to answer some tough questions. We learned a lot, like I said, so that is good to see. Let me know your favorite development today out of the ADAX AMA, and let me know, are you bullish after today, or are you a little more concerned, and why would that be? I honestly thought that this was a success with the audit, like the security audit confirmation from BTBlock, the upcoming KuCoin potential announcement, update on the DEX release program, the code progress, all that good stuff. And the fact that they say other Ethereum projects reached out to try and see if they could use some of their features, that's interesting. And we'll get a new demo here in just a couple weeks. So bullish development, in my opinion, for Cardano today, or for ADAX today. And I think that this is only up from here. I think that this is just the beginning of positive development. It's been a while since ADAX had this many developments in one, right? We haven't had an AMA in a while. We haven't had major announcements in a while. So this is great to see the forging partnerships, the development on the DEX, all that good stuff. So let me know your favorite development from the ADAX AMA today, and let me know your thoughts on ADAX in the future. Are you holding? Are you concerned? Let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the like button. I'll be back later today with another video. Peace.